Most wrestlers dream of making it to WWE. Pat Roach made it to Hollywood instead. He fought Harrison Ford, worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger, appeared in James Bond, and starred in one of Britain's biggest television shows. And yet, despite all of that, he never stopped being a wrestler. Hello everyone, I'm Josh Faulkner, the wrestling comedian. Make sure you like the video and drop me a follow. This is the story of Pat Roach, the British wrestler who conquered Hollywood. Pat Roach was born in Birmingham in 1937. Long before wrestling, he was already an incredible athlete. He boxed as an amateur, became the British national judo champion in 1960, and earned a black belt before eventually turning to professional wrestling under trainer Alf Kent. Standing around 6'5" and weighing close to 19 stone, he quickly became one of the most intimidating heavyweights in Britain. British fans first knew him as Judo Pat Roach. Later, he became Big Pat Roach and eventually Bomber Pat Roach. Inside the ring, he was powerful, believable, and technically excellent. He wrestled the very best names of the era, competed across Britain, Europe, Japan, and even North America, winning both the British and European heavyweight championships during his career. Then something happened that changed his life forever. Film director Stanley Kubrick spotted him. His first screen appearance came as the Korova Milk Bar bouncer in A Clockwork Orange. Kubrick was so impressed that he cast him again in Barry Lyndon. Suddenly, the wrestler from Birmingham had one foot in Hollywood. But it was another director who made Pat Roach famous across the world, Steven Spielberg. Working alongside George Lucas, Spielberg cast Roach in Raiders of the Lost Ark. If you've seen that film, you've seen Pat. He's the huge German mechanic who has the unforgettable fight with Indiana Jones before meeting one of cinema's most famous endings: the aircraft propeller. Not many wrestlers can say they were defeated by Harrison Ford and then by an aeroplane. The incredible thing is, that wasn't the end. Pat appeared in all three original Indiana Jones films. In fact, apart from Harrison Ford himself, he was the only actor to appear in all three. Across the trilogy, he actually played 4 different characters. That's how highly Spielberg and George Lucas rated him. And Indiana Jones was only the beginning. Pat appeared in Clash of the Titans, Conan the Destroyer alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger, Red Sonja, Willow, where he played the terrifying General Kale, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He even appeared in the James Bond film Never Say Never Again. Meanwhile, back home, millions of television viewers knew him as Brian Bomber Busbridge in Auf Wiedersehen Pet. It became one of the defining roles of his career, so much so that wrestling fans began cheering Bomber Pat Roach whenever he returned to the ring. What I love most about Pat Roach is that success never changed him. Despite becoming an international actor, he kept wrestling. He stayed involved with British wrestling. He later helped the FWA behind the scenes and remained passionate about the business that had given him his start. Sadly, in 2004, Pat Roach passed away after battling esophageal cancer. He was just 67 years old. Tributes poured in from across wrestling in the film industry, but perhaps the most touching came from Harrison Ford. According to Pat's family, Ford personally phoned Pat's widow Doreen to offer his condolences. Think about that for a moment. One of the biggest movie stars on the planet taking the time to call the wife of a man he'd fought on screen decades earlier, that tells you everything you need to know about the respect people had for Pat Roach. Today, Pat Roach is remembered in 2 completely different worlds. To wrestling fans, he was one of Britain's finest heavyweights. To film fans, he was one of Hollywood's greatest character actors. Very few people have ever managed to leave such a lasting mark on 2 completely different industries. But Pat Roach did exactly that, and that's why, in my opinion, he wasn't just a British wrestler who went to Hollywood. He was one of the greatest ambassadors British wrestling has ever had. But I want to hear from you. What was your favourite Pat Roach role? Was it Bomber in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, General Kale in Willow, or his unforgettable fight with Indiana Jones? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more wrestling stories, opinions, and laughs, you know what to do. And remember, I'll see you on the next one.